Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to 50 hours in the most remote town in the USA. I love videos like this where you can see these places that, I mean, in this case, is a remote town. I'm going to assume this is in Alaska, but I don't actually know. I done a reaction a few years back to a much bigger city or town. And it used to be called Barrow. I forgot what they changed to the city's or the town's name to. But that was a really wild thing to see. But I'm already looking at this and it says the most remote town, so I'm assuming it's not really near anything. And then with that, it's also in this valley or whatever, and it's just here on its own. And yeah, this just looks like a video that I'm just going to be really interested in seeing. Also, this is from a channel that's got only 5,000 subs, and yeah, if you've got a small channel doing videos like this, you've got to appreciate it. So the links will be in the description to this video, so you can check this video out, check this guy's channel out, and yeah, show support, because I mean, maybe we're going to witness the birth of a great channel because you're seeing a video concept like this. But yeah, let's jump into this. Hopefully you're going to enjoy. Hopefully you're all doing well. Links are in the description to my Patreon where you can see reactions that I can't post: YouTube, movies, TV series, all that stuff. But let's jump into this reaction.
The most isolated and remote town in the United States. It's called Jarbidge, Nevada, and it's nestled deep in the mountains at the end of a long...
This is in Nevada. What the fuck?
Long dirt road with no civilization for 100 miles in every direction. There's no school, no hospital, no grocery store, and yet the 16 year-round residents have managed to keep this town alive. What? Even more than that, they seem to be a thriving, happy community in the middle of nowhere. This could not be more different from the cities I've lived in, where there are millions of people and everything I need is at my fingertips. But even with all of that, I feel like it's been extremely hard to build community. And often I find these big cities can be really lonely at times. Now, while I would think living so detached from the world would be a sad or miserable experience, the footage I saw in Jarbidge made that seem like the furthest thing from the truth. So I decided I needed to go and see what made this ghost town so special. And on a personal note, could I see myself living in a small town like this? After some extensive research, my friend Juan and I embarked on what would become an adventure that would challenge everything we knew about building community, connecting with people, and small town living. This is our journey to the most remote town in the United States.
Let's go to Jarbidge. Jarbidge?
Well, here's the thing that you gotta know about this little town. In the old days, it was actually Jarbidge, and then there was a big uprising of actual escaped monkeys. There was a bridge that would go into the city, and then in the middle of the revolution of these monkeys, they took down the bridge. So then, in order to not make it a thing about remembering that fateful day, they changed the name from Jarbidge to Jarbidge.
I know for a fact that that's not what happened.
You don't know for a fact.
I know for a literal fact. Let's go. We're going to Jarbidge.
The story of Jarbidge is similar to many other Western towns, and it starts with gold. In 1909, a man named Dave Bourne discovered millions worth in the mountains surrounding Jarbidge. From there, a booming mining town was born. Prior to that, the land was untouched because the Shoshone people living around there believed the nearby hills were haunted by a carnivorous giant. But that wouldn't stop miners, as Jarbidge swelled to a population of near 2,000 people at its peak. And at one point, it was the highest gold-producing town in Nevada. But as most of these stories go, in the 1930s, mining operations started to slow, and with it, the population dwindled. Today, the 16 residents live in what looks like a relic of the last century. And with only one dirt road in and out for 8 months of the year, Juan and I would need to make the near 16-hour drive from Los Angeles through Nevada into Idaho and back down into the town. And the closer we got, the more interesting the mystery of this town became.
We have 60 miles left. From this point forward, we are not going to hit another inch of civilization until we get to Jarbidge.
That's it.
This is the longest day I've ever had.
No, it hasn't been terrible, all things considered.
If you were gonna do an impression of me...
Hey, I'm Andrew.
Okay.
All I'm saying is, if I was around the age of 60, Martha Stewart wouldn't be my last choice. Should have done the penny slots.
What the fuck?
5,000 on penny slots.
What the hell is that bottle? That's the weirdest bottle I've seen.
All right, how you feeling now?
As soon as we drove like into the ravine, we got warped
into a snowstorm.
Into like a container of just snow.
And it's the middle of May.
This little experience right here.
May?
It's magical in every way.
Damn.
It literally looks like that sign has gunshots in it.
Drew, where the fuck are we, bro? Like,
Just 18 miles between here and Jarbidge.
like the most emotionally volatile I've been in a while. I'm like happy, sad, worried.
The closer we get to Jarbidge, the more swings of emotions we keep having.
Oh,
I think we're
you
here.
coming up on the right?
Dude.
Is it?
Oh my gosh.
Welcome to Jarbidge, Nevada. From what we could see, there are about 50 buildings lining the one street, which, as you can guess, is called Main Street.
This is crazy.
This is crazy. It almost feels like a movie set.
I don't know where we go first. Where do we go first?
To check
So
in,
that's it.
obviously.
There is not a single other person here.
This would be such an interesting place to live, man. Such a different way of life.
Oh, motel's right there. Just go inside.
Oh, there's a motel.
Yes.
We were a little worried about our first interactions with people.
Or maybe in the bar?
Before booking our stay, our point of contact mentioned some residents didn't love being filmed, and that mixed with a few cues from our drive-in definitely made us unsure of what to expect. Instantly, our worries faded as we were welcomed by two fellow travelers, Jeff and Earl, Jarbidge's oldest local, Ron, and after a few seconds, our point of contact and the owner of the Red Dog Saloon, Jace, appeared. Within 5 minutes of us being there, he served us a drink from his crazy selection of liquors,
You guys drove a long ways for a good selection.
took our food order, and went in the back to start cooking.
Gentlemen, a scholar. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And when we learned a few more interesting things about this place,
There's no Wi-Fi, no service. We'll have to use our landline to get in contact with our family.
we were ready to get a taste
Damn.
of what a night in the most remote town is like. I'm really bad at pool.
I love a bit of pool,
What's
man.
your relationship
I do
with
love it.
Jarbidge?
Oh, I love it here. I love Jason.
Her family's been playing music up here for generations.
I like this place. It's super cool.
Come on, Drew. What?
How late do you stay open?
Until you're done drinking?
Cheers, fellas.
To the boys.
No rules here, man.
15 residents. Oldest 90, youngest.
36 or 7.
So the average age.
70.
You got a girlfriend?
I do, sir.
I got a jewelry shop. I make diamond rings.
No way.
Yeah, a diamond ring.
Dime
and ring.
So I started cowboying in 2018. This is 1,000 head of kettle.
Oh my God.
Kettle. I've got tons of kettle.
Taking off?
I can't take off without weed.
Don't get pulled over now. You've been drinking a little bit, huh?
By the way, I'll run that friggin' red light, right?
We're having just the time of our lives at the Red Dog Saloon. In the dead of winter, we'll be this deep in snow, and we're freezing our socks off. I've sat in Jason's bar with my socks off in front of that wood stove, warmed my toes up.
That's family right
Like,
there.
shit, they took care of us, that's for sure.
You have to want to be coming here to get here. It's not something you're just driving by on the freeway and like, oh, that's
Yeah.
So, we're at the end of a dead end road for 7.5 months out of the year. And that's why you don't get too many people out here.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
First night in Jarbidge. Nothing but good things to say, to be honest.
I feel like we got a taste. We got a little interaction with the man himself, Jace, who
Yeah.
pretty much is the mayor of this place.
Yeah.
But I want to see what this place actually is like. And tomorrow we can explore the buildings,
Meet the people. And
get a feel for what like a actual day in the life of Jarbidge looks like.
yeah.
The next morning, with still no other people to be found, we decided it was time to explore the town.
So right now, we're walking through what feels like southern Jarbidge. A lot of buildings. There's a gas station. There's supposedly a post office. It's actually the most remote post office in the U.S. There are all of these
Goddamn.
buildings down here, but I don't really think anybody actually lives in them.
Man, this feels like nobody's been here in years.
You just don't get the feeling that it's inhabited. You know that eerie feeling
Yeah.
of like when you see a place. If the population is 15,
There's 30 houses right here.
Easily.
With more questions than answers at this point, we decided to officially sit down with Jace and learn a little bit more about the town, who lives here, and what makes this place so special. But first, it wouldn't be a proper morning at the Red Dog Saloon without a little magic coffee.
I have more alcohol than I had in my glass. Maybe 2 months.
Fuck, that's good though.
Yeah, right.
That's really fucking good.
After taking our orders, cooking everyone breakfast, and pouring us a few more coffees, Jace finally got a moment to tell us about his life in Jarbidge.
Is he
How
like
long have you been here
the
again?
big boy here then?
Grandparents bought property in 78, so has always been home. In the 80s, there was 14 of us in a one-room school, and they shut it down in 2002 when they run out of
Oh, so there was actually a school there.
kids. Nobody wants to live here anymore.
But like, there's a ton of buildings.
There's a lot of those houses that people only come to once a year. There's some that people haven't been to for years. That's why you see some of them are starting to look pretty rough. Hate to see the old town fall apart.
What do you think the future for Jarbidge looks like?
Well, I hope more people want to retire up here, you know, because all the retirees that are here aren't getting any younger. You know, unfortunately, we lost 5 of them last year. So I'm hoping their kids will want to embrace the same lifestyle and move up, so we have people that take care of the buildings and keep the town alive.
And you wear like 100 different hats right now.
You
I feel
have
like
to.
you're like,
These sorts of videos will do wonders for this sort of town as well, man. It's good to see this got so many views, because this will genuinely help the town, I feel like. Obviously, not every view equates to that, but there'll be a few people that are genuinely intrigued and would want to travel here, and maybe more, you know. It's a really fascinating place.
manager, general contractor.
It's hard
cook.
to find somebody who wants to come up here and work. You know, they're making too much money in town, so they want to make that, and the travel time coming up here, you can't afford it. You know, when we go shopping, you want to stock up for at least a month or two, because it's basically 2.5 hours on a good day into Twin Falls. You're going to need to fuel up, maybe grab a bite to eat, and then 2.5 hours back. Well, it's a 8-hour day.
You learn to not be wasteful whatsoever, obviously.
Well, you can't. It's too far to run out and get something if you need something.
Are there periods of time where you might not have any visitors?
Oh yeah, there's times in the wintertime especially, you know, that you might go a week and not see anybody.
If somebody was gonna be lonely for like even a few days, they could go crazy. Like, where do you go to? Like, where do you draw strength from, I guess, in moments like that?
Oh, there's always something to do.
Yeah.
People that are bored, I think, are not very creative, or they don't have any drive, desire, or ambition to do anything for themselves. They just write a check or pay somebody to do the stuff that we have to do up here, because you can't find somebody to come up here to do odds and ends.
We learned that Jarbidge being so isolated actually creates a community of people who look out for each other and the town.
Anybody will help anybody out and go swap an electrical outlet or replace a light switch.
You know that's not common, right?
Apparently it's not. But I didn't realize that. You know, because when you live out here, it's just something you take for granted because it's something you do.
We also learned that Jace operates most of the public businesses in Jarbidge, and he's open 7 days a week.
Well, you have to be. Without the businesses, if these businesses weren't here, this town would die real fast.
It was becoming clear just how much pride and appreciation he has for this town.
Bad day working in Jarbidge is better than a good day living in the city.
And we wanted to see if the other locals felt the same. Our first stop, the gift shop, where we met Jace's
seems
wife,
really
Jane,
nice, man.
and obviously had to pick up some souvenirs, especially these wild rags which Jane sews herself.
Oh yeah. I feel like I belong now.
Do you feel like an honorary Jarbidgean now?
Yeah. A Jarbidgean for sure.
Then we made our way over to the post office, where we met Mary Bess.
You've been here pretty much your whole life.
Yeah, I grew up here.
Wow. Your dad ran the post office before
Yeah,
you?
he grew up here.
What's your favorite part about living here?
Just my history, I think.
You have a sense of pride of all of the history of your family here?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And after a few more laps up and down Main Street,
So this is the Jarbidge jail, where the criminal of the last stagecoach robbery was actually put in prison.
Now we're gonna go check out the community
What
hall.
the heck?
You can feel that there is definitely a sense
Damn, so they still maintained a lot of it really well.
of pride to preserve the history that goes on in here, to pass down stories, to pass down the history itself of what Jarbidge meant.
we had entered pretty much every building and met everyone we could. And at this point, what we had figured out is that most people living here have always called this place home. And maybe they're just so used to it that they're happy to be so isolated. But luckily, Jace was able to get us a meeting with one other resident. And this is where we were really going to learn what makes Jarbidge so special.
And this is Danny right here.
How are you, Danny?
Heard so much about you.
This is Juan and Andrew.
Meet Danny Sullivan, the owner of the only specialty shop in town, a glass blowing shop.
So you've made all of this. All of this is you.
And I do all the paintings. In the 90s, I started working for Oracle, and I was flying around and I kept seeing all this glass. And so when I left Oracle, I got my first kiln and then just kind of self-taught. I fire up the kiln, fire up my oxygen, and then I just sit here and make flowers. These flowers I made here yesterday. That tubing that you see,
Yeah.
I blow them into these and then I'll glitter these up for Christmas.
What
ornaments.
the hell?
Oracle is like as corporate as I can think of. Like someone being in consulting to then making the move to like being here in like rural.
Well, that's why, right? I got burnt out of doing all this computer stuff. So I was like, I want to do something fun.
Do you live by yourself here in town, or?
I actually live with my partner next door.
Okay. Did it take any convincing for your partner to come here to move here with you? Had they been here before?
No, in fact, his family has owned the house since the 40s.
Oh, it's through his family.
Right.
Is there anything about living in like a bigger city that you miss at all?
No.
Yeah,
that's No, not really. For me right now, I'm at a point in my life where it's like I get my social fix by people coming into the glass shop.
Yeah. And then in true small town fashion, some people actually came into the shop, including our next local, Danny's partner, Darren.
So you guys obviously spend a lot of time with each other. How do you like? This sounds
got a big house.
Big house, and this is my Zen space.
When you see Jason's bar, do you want to see a real bar?
Yeah. The
They got a
inside of
bar
the
in their
house
house.
was a public bar back in 40s, 50s.
You're kidding.
My grandfather ran it.
And then just like that, Danny and Darren, who we had met less than 10 minutes ago, invited us into their home.
Wow. So this was
house is
an
beautiful.
original bar.
The motel used to be the Mercantile, which was the store, and this was the counter that was in there. And then my grandfather got a hold of it and made the bar out of it.
They had so many relics that embodied the history and
Holy
spirit
shit.
of this little town.
This was originally the mining offices, and this is the vault where they stored the gold.
This is where they stored the gold.
We use it for a pantry.
You know you might have the coolest food pantry of all
Wow.
time.
But their hospitality, that was something unlike anything Juan and I have ever experienced.
Thank you guys so much for letting us into your home. It's so kind.
Yeah, up here's a little different. I mean, you want to come back for a beer or something? You're welcome.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
I don't charge. I mean, I don't have liquor. It's free. So.
And it wasn't just them. We realized that everyone in this town immediately made you feel like part of their community.
When you're out here and you drive down the road, people wave to strangers. You know, when you're in town, you wave and nobody waves. Nobody looks at each other. Nobody talks to each other.
Not at all. Walk my dog like 2-3 times a day, and I could pass by people like as close as like 2 blades, and people would look down, look at their phone.
Everybody's in their own little world in the city.
Because of how remote this place is, they don't take anything for granted. Whether it's stocking up on supplies for months,
That's our emergency supply wood.
That's a big emergency supply.
or making the most out of social interactions. They're intentional with how they do everything and how they treat everyone. We close the night sharing drinks,
Cheers, guys. Thank you so much for your hospitality.
stories, and laughs with our new friends, and definitely felt like part of the Jarbidge family.
The last day here,
What a
get a
cool
little coffee,
place.
say goodbye to everybody, and unfortunately, pack up for now.
I'm just have to leave. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like part of me is gonna take Jarbidge with me everywhere I go now. The way that the people were here, the sense of community.
When you live in a big city with people everywhere and your phone handy, you can always feel somewhat connected. But it's not enough. Coming to this place showed us that we need real connection.
Now, for the real important question is, would you see yourself living in a place like Jarbidge?
Not at this stage in my life.
Even though we wouldn't be moving to Jarbidge anytime soon, that small town spirit of being welcoming, looking out for other people, and being open to connect with strangers is something that we will bring back anywhere.
I'm not having Irish cream.
Come on, we're driving out of here. You better not fucking Irish cream.
You ready for some magical coffee?
Can I have one? This is a proper goodbye right here. Proper 12, proper goodbye.
How is that?
It won't be worth anything by the time the twins
Don't get no better.
What a fascinating place. I've not seen anywhere like this before. Because, I mean, it's remote, but then it's literally just a one-way road to this place. And then throughout the different times of the year, it's going to be harder to get to and from. Thought this was a 1 mil sub channel. Yeah, this channel is really good. This was put together like a channel that's been doing these sorts of videos for years, but I guess it's just a new channel. Like I said, links will be in the description to this video because it's very well put together, and yeah, to that you'll then be able to find this channel because this is quality and it really represented this place well. On the off chance if you've been here, let me know what it's been like. But the thing is, this is the beauty of the US. I feel like you get these sorts of towns throughout the US. Like, I was half expecting this place to be a town that was run down. I'm just gonna say, I guess, like, assuming it was gonna be quite a poor town. It's complete opposite. It looked like a very well kept place with like history, and like it just surprised me in many ways. And yeah, I mean, I guess it's just a place that it probably, like, the intrigue into it's also probably the reason why it struggles so much, because it's so far from everything and it's just, yeah, so remote. But that's what makes it what it is. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this reaction, and yeah, until next time, like, subscribe.